GG, uninstall. We're taking this shit straight over to Halo today. Maybe. I'm gonna keep it in mind. Oh, you know what we do right now? We do this. We go, boop. We just work our way through the sack room. Richie, what's going on, man? That's right, you gotta call your shots if you want to call your shots. You gotta risk being wrong. Was it Babe Ruth held the record? Babe Ruth held the record for strikeouts and home runs. I heard immediate Halo. I wish. I wish. I can't help but feel like I'm gonna hurt myself on these. I was literally about... Tirade is too strong a word, but I was gonna go into a criticism of the game saying that, like, the Eden runs where your damage and your tiers are both bad are just kind of both instant buzz kills, you know? You know what? I don't have it in me to do this. Was that the best way to utilize the Chariot card? Maybe not. But I will say that I had no desire to do that again. Eating Justin Bieber Timbits for breakfast, is that a, so I'm gonna guess that's like a Tim Horton specialty item? Kind of like how, I can't remember if it was like Subway or somebody that was like in recent memory was doing like, oh, this is so-and-so's Subway sandwich, or this is so-and-so's McDonald's order, or whatever. I haven't been to a Tim Hortons since the last time I went to visit Rob.
This is the story of the newest denizen of...
Hey, Rocket Punch's gifts a tier 1 sub that goes to Jasomon. Thank you so much, Rocket Punches. Very much appreciate it. You want to play a game of name a price and see if Glitch wants to bomb? I mean, yeah. It's always kind of who wants to be a millionaire, though. Is there a secondary? Do I have to be aware of a secondary, like, if you bomb, then we have to switch immediately to Halo, or is this just kindness of your heart? You know what I mean? Is this just kindness of your heart? Let's play a game called Can Taffy Think of a Number Too High for Glitch to Bomb? I'll always play this game. This game is my lifeblood. I've been having talks recently with people about, like, you know, folks being concerned that folks crying out the sky is falling with streaming and Twitch and everything. And while I think we're gonna be just fine, there is still the part of me that's like, oh shit, make hay while the sun shines. Oh, you mean to do a full-blown just switch to Halo day after this? That's intriguing. Well, I don't want to do this, but I was hoping I could save this bomb for, like, maybe the shop, but Duke of Flies is becoming too much. He's proving too much. Please don't, I don't care for Halo. That's kind of my thing, is that, like, you are... The people working against you aren't just the folks like Geist who don't really care for Halo. The people who are working against you are also the editors that I just agreed to give an independent contractor pay raise to keep the Isaac content flowing over. What if you had your Chariot card? So I was toying with the idea of using this bomb to buy, like, batteries and stuff, so I could go back and play out the sack room even more. But I think that it's panned out for me, because ultimately now I got more red hearts out of that fight. Oh, I know what I'm working against? That's fair. I should play Isaac. I should play some Isaac. You've been very generous this week / month / decade. Champion was very generous the other day. JJ Madison was very generous the other day. I've gotten mine this week. I should provide, you know, consistency to people who depend on it. Chrysalis, good morning. How's my Thursday? I didn't know it was Thursday until you just said it. Yeah, if we fund Bad Rats, I'll switch to Halo right now as like, hey, thanks for buying this car. You like my pin? Yeah, go ahead, take my pin. I just appreciate you making my month and buying this car. Got my Fuser Beister last night, my Pfizer booster last night, and I feel great. I hope that I go down that road. I might be getting mine as early as Monday. I've got a full-blown checkup with my doctor on Monday. I'm gonna get the Pfizer booster or Moderna, I don't care, whatever he's got. I don't think I can risk taking another one. I'm getting a booster and a flu shot, and I really would like to not miss any work. Consistently inconsistent is still consistency nonetheless. Wish I felt great. My Pfizer booster was yesterday and I feel tired. Yeah, I'll go out on a limb and say, you know, chat, prep yourself for potentially losing me on Tuesday of next week.
This is the story of the newest denizen of the cave.
Wow, I can't believe Draconic Blade's tier 1 sub for 46 months set off that big ass bomb notification. Holy smokes, I thought that was reserved for like $100 tips and higher. Well, I guess hell, Draconic Blade, welcome back. Thank you for 46 months. I hope that was enough fanfare and pomp and circumstance to make you feel satisfied with your resub. Glitch tips $100 and says, here's money for whatever, including lunch. Thank you, dude. I don't know that I'm gonna want to go out for lunch today. I made spaghetti and meatballs. Well, I didn't make the spaghetti from scratch, but I made the meatballs and the pasta sauce from scratch last night, and it was so good. This is what lets you know we passed the test, chat. It was so good. Rory went back for seconds and told me that he thought I had done a very fine job with dinner. Yeah, Wesley, like, obviously I'd rather miss one day due to being, you know, hi. Okay. That's fine, I don't have any plans on leaving the house for the next 7 hours. Love you. People say hi preemptively, I'm sure.
Hello, everybody.
She says hi back preemptively, I'm sure. Ooh, I'd rather not do this fight. Oh man, Edmund giveth and Edmund taketh away. I can call my shot on that one. Ooh. Damn. I'm just that good, I don't even look at explosions. Nice. Speaking of, I left my jambalaya on the kitchen table this morning, so that's gonna go bad. What should I do for lunch, chat? I need something to look forward to. I won't lie to you. I wasn't feeling glum this morning, but I wasn't feeling like particularly amped to be awake and facing my day. I keep having Rory come join us to sleep at night, and I love my son, and I love his cuddles. But he keeps waking me up at like 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, which means I keep losing about 90 minutes of sleep every night. And when you only, like, when you go to bed at midnight or 1, you don't really, you know, and you're supposed to wake up at 7, you don't really have 90 minutes of sleep to lose, and so that's just kind of been adding up. It feels like that's just kind of been adding up. So I don't feel like sad or in a bad headspace or any of the stuff that I was kind of dealing with earlier in the week. But I definitely feel, I guess just kind of fatigued. And then on top of that, like, when he's been coming to join us, like the first time he came to join us, it was because he had nightmares and he wanted to tell us all about his nightmares and how his brother was his brother was in trouble and he couldn't find mom, and so we just wanted to make him feel comforted. Even listening to the story, like, my adrenaline kind of popped up a little bit, so it took me like 45 minutes to get calmed back down. But then, as I'm getting ready to go to sleep, again, as I'm getting ready to fall back to sleep, my alarm goes off. And then last night, like, he was grinding his teeth. And of course, like, instead of just like rolling over and trying to ignore it, I gotta wake up for a couple of minutes and like sat there and like kind of pat his head and tell him that he's okay. Like, you know, sit there and run my fingers through his hair and massage his little jaw so that he'll stop grinding his teeth. So that's just kind of been all this week has just been me going to bed at midnight going, I should go to bed at 10, but this should be just enough sleep that I can function tomorrow. And then Rory showing up in my bedroom at like 5:30 in the morning and me just being up with him till almost 7 every night. And so that's really that. Between that and the timer this week, it has been, this week's been a lot. Feel your pain, Taffy. My dog wakes me up every night, twice a night for walks. Ugh. Fried cheese balls in the fridge gonna have to go out. At least it'll be something before getting food. I have this huge flag hanging in my room that says "Live fast, eat ass." My daughter just asked me what it spells. My 16-month-old decided to go to bed at 7:30 and wake up at 12, then back to bed 20 minutes later, then woke up at 1:30. My wife and I are tired today. All that pomp and circumstance, Taffy, and you didn't read my resub message. Well, in fairness, you didn't give me $100. The bit only goes so far. In the world of good news, while there's more and more bad shit every day, there's still details to iron out, but I'm working on Christmas light viewing date with the woman from work I've been talking to for about the last year. That's awesome, D-Blade. That's awesome. Damn, I didn't... dates. The mystery of learning and meeting someone new. I have completely forgotten what that feels like. I can barely like use my imagination to reconstruct what that feels like. Ugh. I need to look for the second secret room. I need just about every advantage I can think of. Taffy, I see you're now a partner on Throne. Yeah, they hit me up with a partnership yesterday. Hell yeah, there we go. A little insulation.
Feels like I'm walking on sunshine.
Yeah, they hit me up with a partnership yesterday because all of you got their attention. Kilo and Alicane and Champion and JJ Madison and everybody who said, oh, we can get Throne's attention, don't you worry. And dropped like $2,000 worth of gifts in an afternoon. They got back to my emails really fast. Surprise, surprise. They responded to my emails toot sweet. I need a key, but I'm not really sure where one shows up. Yeah, honestly, like, for what it's been, Stream Gifts has done just fine by me for the longest time, but my big complaint for the longest time has always been that there are things that I want that aren't on Amazon. Most specifically, like, oh, that's pretty good. Most specifically, the Amazon wish list that I created was pulled together because it was supposed to be a list, you know, according to people like Champion and Glitch and JJ Madison and Squint Fox, the folks who kind of got behind like, hey, let's start a list full of like batshit crazy stuff that you would never buy for yourself or you'd have a hard time buying for yourself. And then let's let chat, you know, cherry
Feels
pick.
like I'm walking on sunshine.
Cherry pick a little gift now and again. That's been the point of the list, the entirety of its existence. But like, for example, like I love the idea of trying to make The Office look a little bit better, but making The Office look a little bit better, like making The Office look cooler. I'm wearing a very big shirt today, so I keep like tugging on the shoulders to keep it pulled back. Making The Office look a little bit better is not gonna make me more money. You know what I mean? Like, making The Office look a little bit better is not gonna like provide a whole lot of anything to anyone other than me. So I can't really justify pulling the trigger on spending money on office decor, like Nanoleaf or an office lamp or the folding chairs for the boys I probably should have just bought on my own, but Rusty was really geared up about that. So yeah, like a whole bunch of display stuff or a whole bunch of like officially licensed posters or things like that. Like, I've wanted that for a while, but I could never justify spending hundreds of dollars on decor. Well, Taffy, was it worth my measly $5 contribution now? It was good news. It was nice to hear somebody have pleasant news for sure. I'm gonna leave that on the ground for the moment being. The stream gifts are good, but it could be better. And I just, the stream gifts folks have been very nice to me for the entirety of their existence. But I just don't feel like I've seen any quality of life or product improvements roll out in a very long time. You know what I mean? And so, you know, it would have been one thing, I think. It would have been one thing. Where did I lose that key? Oh, I didn't pick it up. It would have been one thing in my mind if, why am I trying to save a charge on a Red Heart item? It would have been one thing if like Throne was talking about like, hey, we're a new service and we're gonna come out and do this and do that and do this and do that, and but they hadn't yet. That'd be one thing, but it you know, it exists. It's out there. It's already made. And people like, you know, Shia Bun were willing to vouch for it, so now that we've gotten through our first experience being on Thanksgiving, and as long as they sort out the Lost Romeo thing, and items show up when they're supposed to, which is mostly outside of Throne's control, I feel like I'll probably be very pleased. Sounds like a good Christmas for you and your family. I mean, kind of, Chrysalis. All those gifts that came to me were very me-centric. Matter of fact, when like once upon a time when Amber set up a wish list, she started putting stuff on there, but she was putting stuff on there that we were gonna have to buy whether we wanted to or not. And I was like, baby, you can't put like the kids' vaccinations and clothes on there. And she's like, why? We need that more than anything. And I was like, yeah, but baby, we're like their parents. We have to buy that for them. Like, we should be buying that for them no matter what. And she's like, well, I don't understand. What's this for then? I was like, this is for shit that we won't buy for them. This is for stuff that we can't justify the expense. It's gotta be memey and fun. It can't be like, clothes for school picture day. I was like, we're not terrible parents, so we buy that. Grayson's Orthodontics. I was like, I earned that by going out and soliciting money through subs. I was like, those wish lists are supposed to be fun things. It can't be stuff that makes people depressed because they're like, oh, really? If I don't purchase vitamin C, if I don't purchase vitamin C pills for your family, your kids won't get any? Oh man. All right, well, I guess I can do double duty and handle that. I can do double duty and handle that while I'm calling social services. I have no bombs. Ugh. What a moderate letdown this has become. All my work decided to drop a very radioactive employment agreement that is so radioactive half the crew are sending it to employment lawyers here. The kicker is the controller that just put it together can't explain half of it, so my work chose legal violence this morning. And I'm just sitting back munching popcorn due to the sheer fuckery that was created. That sucks. I mean, it's funny to watch, but that sucks. Yeah, Grayson's school lunch. It's like, no, baby. These are supposed to be fun things. These need to be fun. If they're not fun, then it bums people out. We'll pay for everything that we're supposed to pay for as his parents. I was like, but chat will occasionally get worked into a frenzy. Like, for example, I say this as though she, you know, like she still doesn't get it. She clearly gets it now, but like, for example, I put a bunch of Kyrgyzstan stuff on Throne. Grayson's really into Kyrgyzstan stuff. He's in school, I can say this. We already got him 1 coin, you say. We already got him the Kyrgyzstan calendar. And we already got him a book on infectious disease and the human immune system. That's been his take on the entire pandemic, is that he has been super interested in learning about the immune system. Kyrgyzstan. There you go. They take a whole bunch of very complicated ideas, distill them into digestible 20-minute videos, and then add an additional layer of a ridiculous amount of infographic work and animation. So anywho, like that kind of fun stuff. Or like when you know, when Rusty was just like, hey, what do we do for chairs for these kids? And I was like, well, I could just get them some incredibly shitty stools. Or I could see if somebody like Rusty Brazenfire wants to spring to get them like nicely padded folding chairs that stay out of my way. Yeah, and the every cute little animated birdie that they have is a custom designed, like uniquely designed bird to it started off as their neat free able. I should have held on to that. If the spacebar was blank rune on this floor, I'd be super bummed out about not getting it. Yeah, once upon a time, I'm not sure if it's still this way anymore, but it used to be that they made a bird for every one of their Patreon supporters. And then like when you got your like Patreon confirmation, they'd send you a picture of what your designed bird looks like. And then you could go to the video and see your bird get like blown up in a nuclear blast or drown or get exploded in the vacuum of space or whatever. Honestly, Chrysalis, I've tried very hard to make sure that my kids are exposed to information, because I know they play, like, between the pandemic and just growing up in the 21st century, they play a ton of video, and having a dad who plays video games for a living, they play a ton of video games. They don't have, like, they have a lot of screen time. Motherfucker. And I just try to balance all that out by giving them, like, literally anything of nutritional value. I try to find stuff that is, like, engaging with nutritional, factual relevance, but I'm just trying my best not to use the pandemic and all the homeschooling and, the intensity of the last couple of years to be like, oh yeah, sure. We're just gonna dumpster these 2 years, and you guys will just have to make that up in your college years or through therapy or something. Morning, Taft. The Last of Us is done. Witcher Run 1 next. Okay with you? Oh my god.
This is the story of the newest denizen of the cave.
If we're going to do a Witcher run, Cletus, let's skip the Witcher first run. Because the Witcher first run doesn't have the DLC. The second run... Man, I love the left hand. I want to take the left hand. I love the file so much more, though. The second Witcher run has both DLCs in it. I lost an entire day of Witcher DLC, which I'm clearly still not over. Because I did a fucking bounty for the Overwatch League. And I was supposed to raid... Neat.
Health up.
I was supposed to raid into an Overwatch League channel. And I hosted instead of raiding. And they not only denied me the, I don't know, like $25 payout, but they deleted the entire 8-hour VOD from a Saturday playthrough of Witcher 3. So I have one day of Witcher 3 that's missing from that second playthrough. But that second playthrough is the one that has the DLC on it. Second run, Triss or Yin? Yin. First run was Triss because I didn't know the story very well, and I just saw a smoking hot redhead who was willing to have sex with me in game. So I said yes, because I have eyes. But then the second run was Yin, because after you're foolish and horny and impulsive in this life, you settle down and realize that you could have made wiser decisions instead of knee-jerk reactions that would yield and benefit you far more greatly over longer periods of time. How the fuck do they have the right to delete your VOD? Well, they're Twitch. It's their platform. They could set my entire world on fire if they chose to. I don't think that they would. But the point of them deleting the entire VOD was that when you agree to do advertisements, which is basically what bounties are, when you agree to do advertisements and then you do them incorrectly, they basically nuke the evidence that you did it incorrectly so that the person who paid for the advertisement won't see it done poorly. Now, normally, that means that, like, somebody gets on and goes, man, Widget's brand ice cream. It's like my 5th favorite ice cream. I don't ever buy it, but they gave me some for free. So I'm gonna eat Widget's brand ice cream in front of you because they paid me to do it. They'll nuke that VOD from orbit to make sure that Widget's brand ice cream doesn't see it. But it's essentially the, I don't know how much of the moderation process is automated and how much of it is overseen by people. But it was very, like, my situation was very if-then. If not raid, then delete VOD. And sadly, mine was not raid, it was host. Then delete VOD. And I was very bummed about it. Nice, Glitch. Thank you for taking care of Apocalyptic. That's so cool. Sounds good. I'll do the run too. Yeah, Death March. That was so much more gratifying of a run anyway. Like, it was super frustrating in spots because I went with a janky, unconventional build. But it also means that we get to, like, it also, oh, okay. It also means that we get to see me fight with that one guy who was like, you know, if you do easier things, then the game is easier. And I was like, oh my. Tell me more, Voltaire. What other deep philosophical gems do you have to drop on me today? And then he couldn't understand. He's like, why would you choose to do it the hard way? And I was like, wow, you're fucking really new here, aren't you? I always do things the hard way, which is what makes it interesting. And he's like, I guess. I was like, you know what else would make it easier? And he was like, what's that? And I was like, I could roll the difficulty slider all the way back to story mode only. Are you saying that you play this game on story mode only? No, man, I'm not a wimp. I'm not a wussy. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, how about this then? Why don't you stop recommending that I play the game on easy mode? and let me continue on with my very weird, very difficult, thoroughly enjoyable playthrough. Well, I'm just saying, yeah, no, dog, I hear you just talking. Why don't you take it to the just continuing to talk category? Oh my god, it's MREs, that's fucking great. You mean like taking a Burger King sponsor and then calling it a Big Mac all stream? No, that was it was Jericho. He took a McDonald's sponsorship and called it a Whopper the entire stream, and then had somebody from his chat, like, allowed somebody from his chat to talk him into singing the Red Robin theme. Yeah, he took what I'm sure was a high six-figure. He took what I'm sure was a high six-figure activation, or at least a well into the six-figure activation, if not potentially 7, and then had a Freudian slip where he just kept calling the Big Mac a Whopper. He was supposed to be calling them Big Mac tokens. He kept calling them Whopper tokens. And then at one point, I think he was playing Smash Bros or something. And I think there's a, maybe from Splatoon or something. I think there's a Red Robin character. I've never played Smash Bros. Regardless, the people in chat, because he was so kind of nervous and amped up over this activation with McDonald's, which was like Twitch's first foray into billion-dollar company territory for advertisements. Somebody mentioned the character Red and said Red Robin Yum, and then he sang Red Robin Yum. And at that point, I suppose McDonald's was watching, because they were like, wow, he has managed to call our marquee sandwich the Whopper 6 times, and sang the tagline for Red Robin. I'm gonna go on record as saying we didn't get our money's worth. And I'm gonna insist that we cancel the rest of this activation. That was a rough one. And what stinks is that, like, Jericho is no slouch. He's no spring chicken. He's played this game, and by this game I mean Twitch and sort of micro celebrity or nano celebrity status. He's played this game well for a long time, but for whatever reason, man, he just couldn't get out of his own way that day. Bro, I don't think you understand. Bloodborne gets harder, bro. That was rough. That's like one of those nightmares where you go to school and you realize that you didn't study for your test and you've got no clothes on and everyone's laughing at you. Except it's real life. I don't think I've had anything. Well, you know what? The one time that I've even come close to that was when I was playing that card game and Pacifism Bot killed me. And I made their card game look hard against a training bot that wasn't able to even fight back. That made me feel like I didn't feel the same level of bad, but I definitely felt bad for sure. I felt like I wasn't doing them justice. This was way back when bounties, like, were much more lucrative. Well, cool, I guess. I can see forever. Here's my conundrum, chat. If I take left hand, I get more pills. More pills means more tears upgrades. And I can see forevers and health upgrades. I'm gonna take the left hand. Genuinely and generally, what I need is bombs and keys and coins, and I've got that mostly sorted right now. So I'm gonna take the left hand. I'm gonna hope for guppy pieces so that we can pay off Hive Mind, and I'm gonna hope for pills and soul hearts, I think. Taffy, I heard everything you said about Witcher 3, but did you know you could build a bioreactor? I'm not sure that you know you could build a bioreactor. Also, please, Taffy, send all of your people to check out my YouTube channel where I have nothing but the dopest Fortnite clips. I wish I didn't have to leave Nailfile behind, but I feel like the left hand has more upside based on the information that we know about it. No, I'm not near tier cap. 326, I think there are characters who start with better tiers than this. We just started in a very deep hole. Oh, fun. Shit, I can't read chat for fear of getting hit. Oh, bullshit. I thought the sack dagger would take care of that. Oh well. Man, no deal with the devil, huh? Rough day. I still have those damn dreams. They don't come with the missing clothes bit anymore, but they do come with the added stress of having to learn the layout of a new school building each and every time. I don't have the school dreams or the naked dreams, but I do have dreams that I didn't used to have before. The actor's nightmare. When I was in theater, I never had the actor's nightmare. And if you're unfamiliar, the actor's nightmare is you dream that you've been cast in a play. This is kind of a nightmare right here. You dream you've been cast in a play, and then you get on stage and you go to say your first line and realize you don't know any of the words. You don't know any of your blocking, you don't know any of your entrances, you don't know any of the script. And you're just standing up in front of a stage full of people with bright lights hitting you. And you go, I literally have had that nightmare get to the point. I've literally had that nightmare get to the point where I've turned to the audience and said, I'm gonna pay for your refunds out of my own pocket. I've literally had it get to the point where I've just said, listen, I'm gonna refund everybody in the audience tonight because this is my fault and I don't remember anything about what I'm supposed to do up here. It's not fair you guys should have to pay for these tickets. I don't know what the hell is going on. So I'm just gonna pay for you guys to go home. I would just want people to seem excited. It's kind of like, you know, like D-Blade got us to play Splitgate. And Splitgate wasn't like bad or anything. But we kind of knew that we were playing it for essentially just D-Blade, you know? And I'll do that. I'll basically get, you know, like what, you know, Drake would play it. I'm not comparing myself to Drake, but I'm saying somebody as important as Drake or Beyonce will play your kid's 16th birthday party. It just costs a fortune. And I feel kind of the same way about playing video games. Like if it's Fortnite, playing with Brizzy, that I'll do that shit for free if the stars align for the right game. Because I just miss playing with Anthony. But if it's something where I'm terrified I'm gonna tank my channel's viewership for a day, and that he and I are essentially gonna be playing for like 1 or 2 people, that's fine. I'll do that. That's not what I meant to do. But I don't want to spend the entire time feeling like saddened by the fact that I could have been doing almost anything else and people would be watching. Yeah, well, I mean, like, you know, if it's a shooter, too, I'm also excited about the fact that my team is instantly made better by the fact that Brizzy's on it, you know? That's like being asked if you want to play pickup basketball with LeBron. Like, yes, of course I would like to play pickup basketball with LeBron. It makes me look better. Oh, did you hear our 3-on-3 rec team went 150-0 in the 4 years I was in college? Yeah, no shit, you had Kevin Durant on your team. Well, I mean, I was also there. I hit a couple of free throws. B. Perry says, sorry, I just want to read this before. I I just wanted to read this before it cycles out. Got similar issues, man. At the end of the day, you got to look at it like this. There's no barrier to not wearing your shirt. Anyone who's ripped or thin is a minority. Most of us have got a little squish on us, so who gives a rip, you know? I know that makes sense. I know that the words you're saying make sense. I also
This is
know
the story of the newest denizen of the cave.
I also know that once upon a time I had to get on Ambien because I was losing sleep over the idea that I would accidentally time travel while I was out cold. You're also talking to a man who once upon a time thought about changing gyms because the gym that I was at had a really high ceiling. And the thought that went through my head was, if gravity reverses itself while I'm lifting weights here, I'll get squished by all these plates on a long drop to the ceiling. It's not that what you're saying isn't rational, it's that the thing that lives inside me is not rational. Glitch gives a tier 1 sub to Less Talky, More Cocky. Thank you so much, Glitch and Less Talky, More Cocky. Enjoy the emotes. No, genuinely, the reason that I got on Ambien in the first place was because Amber woke up one day and saw me looking like I had lived through a German blitzkrieg the night before. I woke up and got ready to come into stream on that particular day. And Amber was like, baby, you look terrible. What's going on? And I said, I didn't get a lot of sleep last night. And she said, why didn't you get a lot of sleep last night? And I said, I was having thoughts about
This
stuff
is the story
and I couldn't.
of the newest denizen of the cave.
I was like, I was having thoughts about stuff and I just couldn't make myself like go to sleep. She goes, what kind of stuff? Like me getting sick or like money or like what had you all tied up? Ugh. She's like, what was the very valid concern? Was it, you know, was it the well-being of our kids? Was it you know, maybe my cancer not being in remission anymore? Was it that you're trying to start a company and become a content creator at the same time? What very real thing has got you hung up? And I was like, what if I went to sleep and I woke up and I was in a different time? And she went, wait, what? And I said, like,
This is the
it's
story
obviously
of the
like
newest denizen of the cave.
it's obviously a pretty big deal if I go to sleep and I wake up with the dinosaurs, but there's nothing I could do there. But what if I fall asleep and I wake up and it's like the 1800s? And like, I'm not gonna be able to like invent time travel to get back, and it's gonna kill me because I'm gonna be able to communicate with people, but I don't even think I'm gonna be able to convince them that I'm from the future because I fucking don't know how anything works. No formulas live inside me. I don't have any mathematical equations. I don't know anything about their time, and I don't know very much
This
about
is
what
the story
gaps the
of the
time
newest
between their
denizen
time and our time. And I was like, it doesn't even have to be time travel. What if I just go to sleep and I wake up and I'm in fucking Syria or Mongolia or something like that? I won't even know where I am on a globe. It could be present day, and if you just drop me in the wrong part of the planet, I wouldn't really know how to get myself back. And that was the point in time where Amber was just like, we're gonna see about getting you on sleep meds. And then, unfortunately, she sent me to a really bad doctor. Shrek's Uncut 14-inch hog already has a sub to this channel. D-Blade gifts a tier 1 sub to Labrizzi's left nipple. Labrizzi gifts a tier 1 sub to Taffy is handsome. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. D-Blade gets a tier 1 sub to Labrizzi is a beautiful pizza. Yeah, just be labeled a witch and burned at the stake or thrown in an insane asylum and buried in an unmarked grave. Actual time traveler. Buried in an unmarked grave because I brought with me no useful information. What bums me out is I just heard a stand-up comedian do a bit exactly about that, and I was like, oh man, this comedian made it funny. I was just sad because I was just like, oh dude, they load me up on laudanum. chain me to a bed, and when I died from my bed sores, they'd throw me in a mass grave behind the asylum. The end. Actual time-traveling, grown, well-educated man who makes his living interacting with technology. Dead in a pit behind an asylum. This run sucks. I hate this run. Fuck you, Krampus. You're not what I wanted. You better give me Krampus' head because right now I'm dying for some offense. Unreal. Can we put sleep therapy on throne? It sounds better than anything Chibnall thought of. I've watched all of the new Doctor Who episodes and I still have no idea what's going on. Let's see. Yeah. They I got on Stream Gifts because Champion exists in my world, Brizzy. And I needed some way to Stream Gifts was a solution back in the day that made it possible for Champion to send me a pergola. But then, as it existed for a while and built itself into our ecosystem, because Jess, who was one of the minds behind Stream Gifts, came to me originally and asked me what I thought of the idea, and I was like, well, maybe if I was like a beautiful woman, like I was like, maybe if I was a beautiful young person, people would buy me gifts because, you know, there's just a lot of people out there who are looking to buy beautiful people's stuff. I was like, but as a frumpy 40-year-old dude, well, at the time I was only in my 30s, but I was like, as a frumpy 30-something-year-old dude, I don't think that anyone's gonna want to buy me shit. Was my take when Jess asked me, like, what do you think about Stream Gifts? And I was like, that sounds great, but I don't think I need to be involved in it because I don't think you're gonna make any money off of me. And then eventually she said, all right, well, cool. I tell you what, though. Let me set you up with an account anyway. In case you change your mind. So I signed up for that, but then when I realized that ultimately I'd be able to get, you know, stuff sent to me and that it would be like, it honestly has been more like Christmas than any Christmas I've had since I've become an adult. Because actual fun things that my wife would never spring for or my in-laws would never spring for show up at my house. But my big problem was that it was always Amazon only. And there were things from Displate and there were things from Etsy and there were things from Target. I mean, like, you know, wherever, you name it, Williams-Sonoma. And so when I found out through like Shiabun and Alex that Throne existed, and I asked them what the gimmick was there, and they're like, oh, it's like Stream Gifts, but you can get stuff from anywhere. I might actually just die because I can't find any health. Hey, if you bitch about it, the game will hear you. So I signed up, and I was like, I wanted to open a dialogue with them, but apparently they're being inundated with asks. So I was like, chat, I need you to do for me what we did. I need you to do for me what we did with Sogo. I need to get their attention. And so chat, led by Champion, popped off to the tune of $2 grand in gifts. And the next thing you know is my email was answered within the hour. and I was made partner by the end of the day. But it's really cool because ultimately, like, you want to get stuff for Boomer, you throw stuff for Boomer on there from like PetSmart or wherever, or Etsy. You know, you want stuff for Beck, you throw stuff for Beck on there from wherever. And it doesn't just have to be through Amazon and, you know, putting even more money into Bezos' wallet. Timon V, man, thank you so much. I hope all of you beautiful souls are safe and well, says Timon. Yeah, like they're. I still don't really know. Like, I don't know what Throne's markups are. It seems less intense. But I did definitely, like, I wish there was better transparency on what the markups are for those stream gifting services, for sure. There's a part of me that's just kind of like, generally speaking, in the beginning, I was just like, man, I guess if anybody's able/willing to pay a huge markup to send a gift, its champion. And then other people started doing it too, and so it seems to me as though the throne markups are not as significant. God damn. I need anything to make this run exciting. I've left a handful of shitty spacebar items behind. And I'm not seeing I'll obviously play that out. Like spectral tears, anything. I mean, I guess I could just get more aggressive about the sack dagger, but the problem with the sack dagger is being whittled to death. The problem with the sack dagger is that it spins. I feel like it spins faster now, so it's actually a little bit more difficult to. I've taken the deal with the devil, so I actually don't think I'm gonna do that. It's just not worth it. I'd rather have the health, which is weird. I think this is the first time I've ever not taken. I feel like this is the first time I've ever not taken that altar. Oh right, and chat can suggest gifts to me, which is a nice thing because it used to be people just dropped like links to Amazon into my Discord, and I was like, oh, I'll look right into that. And then the moment that they cycled out of sight, I was like, nope, never looking at that again. So anyway, I don't know. If you think anybody from your audience wants to buy you gifts, Throne seems much more intent on improving the quality of service. That's twice I should have been hit. I'm playing like shit. Throne seems more interested in figuring out what streamers and audiences want and then building that as opposed to sort of like maintaining the status quo. I want to talk to you, chat, but this is not the run for it. I'm sorry that I'm probably missing a lot, but like my tiers are still kind of at base and I'm on depths too. The highlight of my run so far has been Lump of Coal and a free Able. Additionally, Throne has a kickback program. I mean, I don't feel like I'm not spilling any tea here because they advertise it on their dashboards. But Throne has said, if you can introduce us to a brand and they make integrating into their, into their sales pipeline and APIs easier, we'll give you a $500 kickback. So Noah and I are gonna go in there and just crack Noah's Rolodex wide open and just say, who do you want to talk to first and how can Noah facilitate that? I can't remember if I saw the second secret room. So, there's a part of me that's hoping I'll make potentially make a handy little amount of coin just off of recommending like Sogo or even Madrinas. I think most of them are banned now, but back in those days, early stream gifts, I had people tell me I was being a beggar and Giga complained. So I hated myself for trying and stopped using it and then never went back. Same with Timeout with Bits. Wow, it's so weird. You know what's funny, Brizzy, is that like I know that the general consensus is like, oh, Taffy's got a silver tongue. Taffy knows how to sell things to people. And that's true with some stuff, like in restaurants, man. Fuck this fucking game. I know how to describe food. If the food is good, I can convince you to buy more of it than you were going to initially. I love food. In some instances, yes, I know how to sell certain things, specifically food-related things. But the irony is that, like, a lot of people, I think, have given me credit for being some sort of weird, Better Call Saul savant in the streaming space, and the irony is that, like, a lot of these things I've, like, worked against. Like, I've been pulled to a lot of these kicking and screaming by my viewers. 38% chance. Well, let's take this ridiculously overpowered run down to the next floor. Gifts, Champion, and my high rollers dragged me kicking and screaming. Time Out with Bits, I did a 1 hour... Oh my god, please let that be a good library. Time Out with Bits, I did a 1 hour bounty, and they rioted when I took it off. They were just like, hey, we were drunk with power, timing each other out. Would you bring that back?
I can see forever.
Neat. Yeah, the spreadsheet came out of JJ Madison's, like, glitch, and JJ Madison and Acid Trip trying to get me to play games I didn't want to. And then Rini had the bright idea of saying, like, let's just fund more than once, because I used to just do one at a time, because I used to feel real self-conscious about asking anyone for money ever. Yeah, and I just don't understand. I don't understand what's different about my place that other places don't have. But like, genuinely, maybe it's just that I'm a man with a wife and kids. Is that nobody gets like mad at me for needing money because they go, oh well, yeah, you got to feed 4 people. But I've been dragged into all this stuff kicking and screaming. My chat has forced me to make a respectable living doing this against my will in a lot of cases. So it's always funny, like I say funny, but like funny weird to me. It's funny to me that like I get all this credit for being some sort of like forward-thinking shill and businessman. And I feel like I've had the same hesitations as everybody else. But when I've dipped my toe into any of those things, instead of catching blowback or flack, or any sort of pushback, I'm about to take another gacha game. I think that we're gonna do next week, and I've got hesitancy about that. But it was my chat who put their foot in my back and said, "Go make your money." And it just strikes me as weird because I don't feel particularly good at selling stuff. And I don't know why I have success when other people don't. I had a little group within the community who seemed to hate whenever I made money at all if it wasn't how they wanted me to. They're banned now, thankfully, but you know how fucking awful I am at banning people. Yeah, I will say that I had to go through that, pardon the pun, but I had to go through that same culling. I did it much longer ago. I didn't do it for money reasons. I actually did it because I was watching Lars Fest, and I just saw that he and I played the same games. But I just saw how much nicer his community felt than mine as I was starting back up. Not all of you, but like the same thing that Brizzy's saying is that there, you know, a couple of people that are huge downers. So it's the same thing as like what Brizzy saw, where I just saw a couple of people where I was like, damn, these people suck. Like these people are actively trying to drag the entire community down. And so I didn't get rid of them because of money, but I got rid of them because I was like, man, I could enjoy my stream days. Is that what you're telling me? Like, my head would say, what do you mean I can enjoy my stream days? So I did it for that, but then when the, you know, chat, I'm gonna sell out, I'm gonna sell you expensive popcorn, I'm gonna sell you underwear, I'm gonna sell you canned coffee and beans, I'm gonna sell you meat sticks. Those people just weren't there. Those people just weren't there to shout everyone else down, which is like, which is a great after effect. But like, you know, I stand by the fact that I didn't get rid of those people so I could make more money off you guys. I got rid of those people because they fucking sucked. My take on why I give Taffy money is because I can. If I was a part of Brizzy's crew, I'd probably feel the same way. I got kind of lucky that, like, my chat was never mean about, like, you're lucky we're even here, you know, accept our viewership and what little money we choose to give you. It was never like that, but, like, there was not a lot of money spent here. Like, I never made more than $1,000 or $2,000. Actually, like, what else am I gonna do with this cash? I never made more than $1,000 or $2,000 in a month until 2018. I didn't make enough to live. for sure. And then I did at one point just have a convergence of high rollers who like Acid Trip just decided he was going to be a high roller. And then like Glitch and JJ Madison piled on, and they were still reasonably new to the community comparatively. And it was somebody native to the community went, "I've been budgeting, here's $1,000." And then other people who were new to the community but had the disposable income went, "Yeah, fuck it, we're on board. This guy seems nice." And then a whole bunch of regulars went, "Shit, if we don't pay him, this goes away." And they all just kind of went, "Yeah, you know what? I've been watching you for like 7 years. Here's $100. And it just kind of overnight created this like culture that I feel incredibly lucky to have. But Steak Jones, sorry, it's really hard to see your name because it's black on my screen. But welcome, Steak Jones. Taffy, we finally get you to try Waifu Catcher, aka Genshin Impact.
Of the newest denizen of the cave.
I feel like that shit may have sailed. I had people in Team Catalyst trying to sell me on that game, if it gives you any idea of how long people have been trying to get me to do it. I did it for mental health reasons, like taking the raid sponsor. They literally refused to believe I genuinely enjoyed the game and got paid, as if I'm not straight up about everything I do. That's what blows my mind, is that anybody could accuse you of being insincere. You know what I mean? Like, that straight up befuddles me. That anyone could be like, "Oh, Labrizzi, you can just never tell what's on that guy's mind. He's always filled with doublespeak. It always just feels like that guy's just littered with half-truths." I'm gonna go ahead and just sort of scan up, because this run has turned into this. You cultivated an older audience who understand family finances, and it's a group effort to keep things afloat. There's a lot of other channels who have cultivated an audience who can be best described as depressed, unemployed 20-somethings whose biggest concerns are their parents telling them to get a job and leave the house, says Frimry. From what you're saying, your success isn't a result of being ahead of the curve. Is more, seems to be a result of your community management skills and cultivating an enjoyable place to hang out. You know what? Like, I make a lot of decisions on the fly that I don't know why I'm doing them. I'll say this, I make a lot of decisions on the fly with regards to my streaming career that I don't know why I'm doing them when I do them. I make decisions where I just go, "This feels right," and people will say why, and I'll be like, "I don't know, it just feels right." And so like getting rid of those shitty people felt right at the time, and I was doing it because I was like, I just don't want to deal with this anymore, but it paid big dividends later on. I was the first person out of this tier of broadcasters to take a fucking underwear sponsorship. People laughed because they were just like, it felt like at the time, the only sponsorships people really wanted to take were like Logitech or Corsair. I mean, like, obviously Razer, Elgato. You obviously understand why they wanted those sponsorships. Those are great companies to work with. But Noah came to me and goes, "Underwear?" And I went, "I don't know, dude. Underwear?" And he was like, "Everyone wears underwear." And I was like, "Yeah, I guess, but like, underwear?" And he was just like, "Underwear." And I don't want to say like I'm the reason that a lot of the community takes kind of like out there sponsors now, but like I don't remember anyone else taking underwear, and I remember getting giggled at when I did it. But it felt right. I was like, I fucking like dope underwear. I'm going all the way back up. Hold on. Brizzy says, "Taffy, you know best about how I'm not good at hiding how I truly feel. Want to tell people if they should buy Fractured Lance free to play that weekend. Maybe soon to be free to play forever if you just download it locally and upkeep it yourself." Where'd the Blood Condor lore come from? A mod named Alyssa, I think, kind of insinuated that she was somehow a higher ranked viewer than the rest of everyone else. Or like, she made a power play, and I jokingly said something to the effect of like, "Guys, we don't have like secret cult levels within this community. Alyssa's not like privately a level 7 Blood Condor or something like that." And at that point people went, "Well, if she's Blood Condor, I want to be Blood Condor." And I was like, "No, you're not hearing me. I'm saying she's not Blood Condor." And then people were like, "Well, what are the levels below Blood Condor then?" And at that point, I just rolled my eyes, and it just it became a thing that I could no longer control. Lost Romeo, what's going on, homie? Welcome back. Double Taco, good morning. Love it when a cathartic move ends up being the right one. That's all I've done my entire content creation career. And I've just learned to trust it because honestly, it's normally more right than it isn't. I like, you know, Rob Woofles made the edits of Passive Aggression on Machinima, our episodic series that got us connected within the industry so that we could both have these careers. Rob made it look pretty, but it was my idea. You know? I follow my gut and my instinct, and normally it leads me down good paths. And when my instincts and gut have not pointed me in the right direction, I've had people around me like Nate who have course corrected me aggressively. And frankly, in some cases, have probably saved my career. I'm just really far behind on chat. I'm sorry. This is a real labor of a run. But this conversation's engrossing enough. I don't want to miss anything, so just be patient and I'll get to you. I say from experience, one of my favorite streamers has an audience that I just have to be honest with myself I can't be a part of. I like the streamer enough to watch the channel, but I can't engage in chat. That sucks. In all honesty, part of your success may have come from your longevity. People who have started watching you when they were kids are adults now, and adults have money, and have adult money. You're not wrong. I definitely have had people start watching me in middle school and now are in graduate school or are young professionals, and they're just like, "Hey man, here's $100. Thank you for entertaining me while I was in middle school." Yeah, it's equal parts depressing and very cool. Yeah, dude. Ultimately, when you did that MeUndies shoot, that was the day where I was like, I would increase my meme success if I had Anthony. How have I never liked this tweet? I would increase my meme success on both social media and this platform if I had Brizzy's fucking confidence to just go out and rock it. That post in particular, I was just like, I either need to lose weight and get comfortable with myself, or I need to get comfortable with what I look like and dive into many more meme photo shoots. I wanted to have like yours and Richard Hammer's confidence. Scanning. Did Throne get back to you about the air fryer? Not yet. I'm willing to give that a couple of business days though, as it is a support ticket. I have no idea how many support tickets they have. We'll resolve it. You and I will get it figured out. But they haven't gotten to me about the support ticket yet. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go ahead and star that right now. Yeah, being reviewed by our support staff, which is obviously different than their partner team. Real quick, your Polaroid's procking so you can cheese the blood bank. Yeah, I wasn't even paying attention, and now I'm kind of low-key running out of health. Let's do this. Let's take this. Do this. And then do this. I keep thinking that maybe this dude will pay out with like, I keep thinking that maybe this dude will pay out with like Rotten Baby or something, but he sure as hell is not. Necro Maverick, what's going on? Welcome back. El Pablo, good morning as well. Back when I had disposable income, there were a few people that gave money to via Patreon. These days, I'm the only source of income for my family while my wife finishes nursing school. I recognize those feels. If I shaved my butt and took pictures, I'd have hella dudes throwing money at me, having no clue about, above that Alexis Texas quality dumper is a neckbeard. So yeah, anywho, it's something that like you and I don't get as, oh, I didn't mean to come in here. Well, it's something that you and I haven't really had a chance to talk about too much, but it's been funny to me because it's always meant for, like, the other day when I raided you, I left your channel up, and when I came back into the room, I saw people talking about me. I saw people going like, oh, you should hire Taffy. And I went back and caught the end of the VOD, and it was like, oh yeah, Taffy's like Better Call Saul. That dude really knows how to like shill. And I was like, man, what's funny is that, like, I've been dragged kicking and screaming into things that have made my channel money. Genuinely, I've tried hard to say yes to things that, like, are no-brainers. When I signed up with Madrinas, I chased them down because I was like, this brand integration makes total sense to me. I want to work with them so bad. And then, like, you know, in a lot of these instances, Noah's helped me drag them across the finish line. With Madrinas, he got them to take a shot with me by offering them free legal work in response because he knew how bad I wanted to work with old school Madrinas. Same thing with Sogo. With Sogo, I shot my shot, and they genuinely didn't have any idea who I was. And then one day I was just talking about how bad I wanted to work with them here. And you guys went and bought a shitload of their product, and all of a sudden Dan was in chat. I take shots, I miss a bunch, but I hit some. And I've got people around me who both in the audience and in my support network, who work hard to support me shooting shots.
Forever.
I've got, like, you know, I've got Nate and Noah.
Range.
I've got my viewers who really put foot to ass and say, like, yeah, you should take your shot. You should shoot your shot. I'm like, oh, okay, well, my shot is I want $250 to play Minecraft because I hate that game. All right, here you go. Here's $250. And I'm like, oh, fuck, now I have to play it. And they're like, yeah, that's how it works. You've made us all addicted to Marvel. I fucking adore that game. I have logged in every day since I did that activation 3 months ago.
Hematemesis.
Are you still hopeful for the Curio sponsorship? I am. I'll say this. I gotta not give Noah an aneurysm. They are awesome. Their product is awesome. And I will buy their product no matter what. No matter how this turns out, I will buy their product no matter what. But I don't think I'm in a place in my life anymore where I want to do... If I learned anything from Sogo, is that I'm probably beyond a place in my life where I do full streams and commitments and sign contracts for comp products and affiliate codes. So I'm hopeful that the reason they went dark was because it was the holidays and they were very busy. And I hope they come back and want to work with us, but we have not heard back from Curio. I want to say Good and Noah emailed them about a week and a half ago, and we've just not heard much since. I do hustle, I will say that. I can come off as a goofy, lazy slacker because it's funny when I play the lovable loser. But I bust my ass so I can play the lovable loser. Yo, Bird, feel free to get in there, you know? Yeah, that's right. That's what I'm talking about. Went the wrong way. It's like a penalty kick. I just guessed the wrong direction. I didn't mean to pick that up. Is Good partnered with them? He's the reason that they sponsored. He's the reason that they sponsored Minecraft, and then apparently they had a very good week because of it, so they were willing to talk to us more. Hypothetically, if you pick up every book in the game, then you enter to a library and use the D6, what would the book be transformed to? It just pulls from the regular item pool. I'm such a doomer about my chat, but it's my own fault. Like yesterday, I finally asked, "Hey, is it cool if I play a commercial every 2 hours?" And they're like, "Yeah, of course, you fucking idiot." So maybe I just gotta ask more often. Yeah, like I feel use the sack dagger, you coward. I might be able to now a little more frequently. Now that I've got a little bit of health. I will say that like the one Justin won't mind if I use him as an example, I think. If I make a fucking example out of him. I feel like if there's one thing that I see where I feel like a mistake gets made when it comes to like, well, Taffy does this, so I'm gonna try it, is that like this weird ecosystem that I've built, and that not even that I've built, that I've put together at chat's behest. Like I may have built the pyramids here, but chat was the job foreman. They were basically the ones telling me where to put the bricks. Justin, what's going on, man? I was about to use you for an example in a conversation with Brizzy. We were talking about like Brizzy basically said something to the effect of like, oh yeah, Taffy's a hustler and manages to get gifts sent to him and make money and all that jazz. And I was like, I've done most of this by accident. And Brizzy was saying, I'll read it again. I'm such a doomer about my chat, but it's my own fault. Like yesterday, I finally asked, hey, is it cool if I play a commercial every 2 hours? And they were like, yeah, of course, you fucking idiot. So maybe I just gotta ask them more often. And I was like, I basically said the only thing that I've ever really seen that has made me apprehensive when people go like, oh, you know what? Taffy manages to get himself paid. Even if I like accidentally manage to get myself paid. The only thing that I ever see that happens that makes me a little apprehensive for people trying to like mimic this system is that it potentially sometimes feels like it goes a little too much too fast. Like getting into a hot bath, like instead of going toes first, some folks just jump in. Justin and I did a little bit of a post-mortem because he tried to do the Muns for Fun spreadsheet approach. And it felt like it was maybe a little overwhelming. And again, I kind of have to take Justin's word for it too, because Justin also, I think, gets in his head where he's just like, I tried this and one person said it was bad, and so I think I have to quit forever now. We're all pretty badly in our head about this kind of stuff, myself included. Like I said, I didn't want to do any of the stuff that I'm doing, and my chat had to like drag me by the 3 hair I have left across the finish line on a lot of it because they wanted to have fun. But I will say, yeah, like Justin rolled out like a note-for-note copy of the spreadsheet, complete with like 4-figure prices on stuff, and it genuinely was like too much too fast for his viewership to digest. And that makes total sense to me. Like I get that. If I had shown up on day 1 when I was at 70 viewers and said, you know, one day I'll make you pay $1,000 to watch me play a video game, they'd fucking stab me to death with nail clippers. But over time, it kind of like, we introduced one game, and then one game became, I want to pay for the next game. And then I want to pay for the next game became, I want to put something in the queue. And then, you know, I want to buy a gift turned into, I want to buy a pergola. And it just kind of like, it turned into, I want to buy you a pinball machine. And it just kind of organically, it started with something small and became something big, because that's the natural flow of where the river took it. Micah, thank you for the tier 1 sub for 12 months. I'm sorry that I missed that 17 minutes ago. I promise I wasn't out to avoid you. Between trying to make this run work and the intense shot talk, which frankly is one of my favorite things to do, is to just talk about the ins and outs of this batshit crazy shouldn't be a job. It takes me a couple of minutes to get caught up to stuff. But Micah, thank you so much. I grew up not being allowed to ask for shit, you feel me? It's hard to do as a job sometimes. I get it. My big thing is not like, now that I'm comfortable doing it, it's not like, I don't know, like I was kind of, despite being dirt poor, I don't want to say I was spoiled, but my mom did like skip things for herself to make sure that I had a Game Boy at Christmas or whatever it was. I needed for nothing, and I wanted for very little, despite how dirt poor we were. Because my mom just was determined that her kids were gonna have a better childhood than she did. That said, I've got, like, my issue is not necessarily asking for something that I want if I think I can get it, and I'll just be very gracious and, like, I'll just be very grateful that I got it in the first place. But my thing is not feeling like I deserve the thing, even if I think I'll get it. And that's been the thing, that's been what I've been trying to get over. I spent the first year I was in this house going, there are people out there with real jobs and skills who deserve homes who don't live in them. I don't deserve a house. You know, it's, I don't deserve a pinball machine or whatever. That's always been the difficult thing that it's taken me a while to get over, is this like weird, misguided belief that I don't deserve the success that I get. It was reinforced a little bit back in the day when I first got the Twitch contract. When I first got the Twitch contract, which was a total Hail Mary that just happened to come through. When I first got the Twitch contract, one of the first DMs I got, and I will never tell you from who, but one of the first DMs I got was from a friend. And that friend said, "I'm super excited for you." And I was like, "Thank you. I'm really excited for me too. This is crazy." And they went, "Yeah, crazy. It's so crazy. It's so crazy. So why did you get this?" And I went, "Wait, what?" And they said, "Why do you get to have this and the rest of us don't?" And I was like, I don't know. I just got incredibly lucky. That seems very lucky. Are you sure there's nothing else I should know? Because I just don't understand. It's not that you don't have a good channel. It's not that you're not good at your job. It's not that your community's not awesome. But I just don't know how to finish that sentence. Because why do you get to have that? All said with a smile on their face, you know? And I was like, I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't have, but I did. But I don't know. I don't know. Well, if you do find out, let me know, because I would also like that. Like, Brizzy's asked me about it, but Brizzy's never prefaced it with like, your dumbass shouldn't have that. It's always just been like, hey, will you just tell me a little more about, like, honestly, it's genuinely like, you know, backroom hand job, Taffy. So I've, like, not only do I have to deal with my own internal head stuff like that, but like when the list came out, people were like, 819, huh? Why? And I'm like, I don't fucking know. I don't know why my number's up there and yours isn't. Not you, not people here, but like, I've had people come up to me, physically come up to me and just be like, so, I had 3 people come up to me at Minecraft, and they didn't say like why, but they did say like how. And I'm like, I don't know. The only place I shoot myself in the foot is remaining steadfast in that I won't give people special treatment because they're rich. I'm not tricking people, not in the tricking people business. I know that sounds weird since I'm a streamer. I don't trick people, but yeah, I mean, I do run this place like a business. And that'll probably keep people, that'll probably keep some people away for sure. But I genuinely don't have any problem saying like, in this place, money talks and bullshit walks. But that's because I also feel like I get an awful lot of pushback. I've gotten an awful lot of pushback over the years from people going like, do this thing for me for free. And I'm like, no. And they're like, why? I'm your viewer. You should want to make me happy. And I'm like, I'm running a business and I don't give my product away for nothing. Like, it's actually brought me a level of comfort pushing back against people who would insinuate that I should do stuff for them for nothing. Reg, by the way, I saw you come in, sir. I just haven't had a chance to say hello to you yet. I know we're having fun, but legit, I think the only reason I've done so, so well on Twitch is not chasing the money. And I mean, honestly, you might be right. It might be different strokes for different folks. Like, if you try to force your hand into my glove or your, feet into my shoes, it might be your all-time backfire. I have no idea. I've not built, my approach on other people's channels. It might not work on other people's channels. But man, did I ever find the secret sauce here. Taffy, did they have every Twitch staff member sub to them? I mean, like, a lot of it's, I say that a lot of it's lightning in a bottle. A lot of it is lightning in a bottle. And so a lot of folks would be like, oh, so it's luck? And I'm like, well, you don't get to call it luck if you never buy a fucking bottle and go stand in the rain. I have had arguments with other partners who make a lot of money on this platform where they complain about not streaming for 2 months and then also complain about not making any money or having success. And I'm like, well, didn't you just take 2 months off? And they're like, yeah, but my mental health. And I'm like, okay, I get that. And I'm glad you feel better, but you can't be surprised you didn't take, you didn't make any money in those 2 months off. Are you saying I don't deserve success? And I'm like, well, no, but that seems what you're determined to hear. Ice, good morning. Congratulations on your poor impulse control. Thank you for the 5 gifted. Anarchist Sicko, Deddy, Cloudax, Kowat Zenith, and Bongo Lag again. Recipients of 5 gifted from Ice. Thank you so much, Ice. If I gotta get on both knees for a contract to keep doing this, I mean, I'm not gonna say it out loud I'm doing it, but I'm doing it. I am shocked that I got it, and I will gleefully take it again. Vectrometer, good morning. I'll pay you tree fitty to put Nutella on a cracker and eat it. No, do not do this. I do not have any money. Thank you, Dude Spankin' Dudes. I just take that as Dude Spankin' Dudes is trying to feed me. Dude Spankin' Dudes realizes without Dude Spankin' Dudes and Amber's help, I will slowly starve to death because I am just a man-child.
Hey man, those are bits.
I'm certain my channel will be dead very fast. Not to say I don't like what you do, but it would not work for me. Yeah. I get that too. I feel bad because I feel like sometimes people come to me asking for help, and people come to me asking for like guidance or like tips, and I feel bad that I don't have better answers to offer them because like if we rolled out exactly what we do on my channel on your channel, there would definitely be dissent. Justifiable dissent, because you definitely have built a different brand than I have. Old buddy in his 60s from Kentucky. I was outside standing in the rain working on a vehicle. He shouts from across the yards, hey, chickens, they got a brain, holds up this big, smart enough not to stand in the rain. Noah drops 100 bits and says, for what it's worth, there's no secret sauce. Justin and Taff and Brizzy bust their asses and certain things cut their way and certain things don't. I'm occasionally in position to poke things in the right direction, but they have made the opportunity. Proud of y'all, says Noah. Listen, man, I was gonna try to give you some credit for stuff, but if you're just gonna tell people I did it, then chat, I did this. I don't feel obligated. Yeah, I'll take your dollar, Noah. I'll take your dollar and tell people I did this. I will say this though, I stand by the fact the contract thing happened because Noah and Scintilla had my back in a ridiculous way. I don't know how I got so lucky to have 2 people willing to go to ground, one of whom I've never met, although between what Pluto's done to keep me afloat and what Scintilla's done to elevate me, I owe those guys an edible arrangement or something. But I will say, I needed a lawyer in the industry who would talk to me, so I just brought my own. With that regard, Noah and I have got a very balanced seesaw when it comes to reciprocity. Noah does a lot of work to help us out in this channel, but then he also tells me when I go, "Oh, dude, thanks." He's like, "Hey, thank you. I'd still be in traffic court in Hanover, Virginia, if you hadn't dragged my ass to a PAX once upon a time." In the wise words of Pretzel Rocks, shut up, Noah. It's my 4th day at the gym, and then I have rivals. My entire body's shutting down. Dude, I had half a bottle of wine last night, so I'm also pretty sleepy and feeling very accomplished. You and I basically have been keeping the same schedule, Justin. I made spaghetti and meatballs last night and ate more than my body wanted because it tasted good. And then I drank a half bottle of red wine, and then I fell asleep on the couch. So you and I both tired basically for the same reasons. My go-to gift for you this year for people has been Omaha steak packages. Are Omaha steaks any are Omaha steaks any good? There's a part of me like just leveling with you that I feel like I'd rather just go get cuts of steak from the butcher. Are Omaha steaks worth the trouble? I say worth the trouble, but you know what I mean, right?
Someday, Bumbo, lucky Bumbo, someday the Bumbo is a bad Bumbo. He get corn and Bumbo lose corn.